Good morning, guys. Going live for the first time. So here we go. Coffee with Coach Chambo. I've been wanting to do something a little live to get some high school football back in my little corner of Twitter and YouTube, and just kind of be able to promote different things. I hope the audio quality is not absolutely terrible. I'm looking over here at my other screen looking for replies and such. I don't even know how to do this on Twitter. I'll be honest with you. I'll have to give it some of you guys that know what's going on to see how the heck I see all this stuff. Anyway, so I will try to find some way to look at... Oh, there's the chat. I found it. I think. There we go. Good. All right. So first time doing this, we'll get the bugs worked out. I probably should have done a test trial, but you know, the military man in me says do a rehearsal, but there's no such thing as doing a rehearsal on live, right? You just got to go sometimes. The talking part I got. It's all the technology part that I'm not sure what will or will not work. So anyway, wanted to come today and talk a little bit of GT counter. I am drinking coffee, by the way. It truly is coffee with me. We have an espresso machine, and so I'm having a latte. I love black coffee as well, but I can go for either one. So cheers to you guys. Let's get some coffee and some football going down, okay? The thing I want to talk about today is GT counter, and more specifically, how we're blocking with our center. I know that we're going to see a ton of 3-4. Our little rival up north, a ways there from Salina this year, is I've heard he's a 4-2-5 man, maybe even a Joe Daniel 4-2-5 man. So, Coach, we'll talk about yours another day because we're going to talk a little 3-front here. And just kind of like what our options are, I guess. And look, I'm going to be real with you guys, okay? It's my first year as an OC. I know what I want to do. There's probably going to be holes punched in this system, which is okay. We've got options to fix problems, right, as they arise. Obviously, going to be a big RPO team this year, big read team. We're going to make some people wrong. That's our mantra this year is make him wrong. So we're going to find somebody that's doing things right, and we're going to make them wrong. So that's going to be kind of what I game plan. So I don't want you to sit here and stare at my face for too long. So we will we'll jump straight into, I've got my huddle pulled up. Hopefully, I haven't given away too many secrets with this huddle thing. We're even going to watch a little bit of our practice film, okay? It was during our spring ball, our install. It's not the prettiest. I can admit that. It's okay. We were learning. The kids were learning. I'm sure that if you go through your spring ball, there's probably not a bunch of A-plus plays either, right? We've got kids with low effort. We got kids with bad technique. We did 0 indie time for spring. We went all scheme and just installed, just to get a look at things. We knew it wasn't going to be pretty. We just want the kids to have an understanding of what words and things correlate together with. So, all right, here we go. Let me see if I can switch here. Kaboom. Look at that. OBS, my man. I downloaded OBS like 5 years ago, and I've used it very, very little. My intent is to keep these coffee talks under 30 minutes. I don't even know if I want to go that long. All right, so I have it based here at a 2x2. I'm not going to run a lot of 2x2 this year, not in this form, not traditional spread 2x2. We'll do a lot of 11-man 2x2 stuff, or 11 personnel. But I figure this is the easiest way because it lets us block the base box. Block the base box, right? It looks like my Twitter might be going kind of crazy. If Twitter's doing really bad, I'm sorry. Okay, I will fix it at some point. I may have to switch it and make it my main streaming one. Anyway, so here we go. Yeah, it looks like it's really struggling. We'll get through it. If it doesn't come out well, we'll get started tomorrow on that one. So, I like starting 2x2. You know, working with Joe, he's a big like starting the I formation because then you get to see all your defensive stuff. But on offense, I think this helps us see what is their base defense going to be. And this is kind of what we're seeing right now, this odd front. They may apex these number twos, and they may bring them down, right? This is where a lot of people are getting their fourth rushers. One of these two are going to come, and one's going to drop. I think either way, that's okay. We'll have the answers there, game plan. But I'm going to kind of start with this apexing, setting it 5x3, whatever they are. I did not draw up this formation to start. I'm going to be honest with you. It was whoever the last coach was, so it's kind of janky. Right, so we get this box. How are we going to block it? And so we're going to use, to get started, we're going to use what we call our choke blocks. We're going to have our center, what we call choke, all the way back on that 4-tech. Now, some of you will only choke back on a 4-eye. I've heard a 4. I've heard a lot of people say a 5 is where it stops. And so that's where my question to you is like, what is your answer? What is your answer if he's a 5? You're just not going to block him? Like, I get getting the double and working the front side, but how do you answer that question? So that's a question I have for you guys. See, we're just going to go ahead and block back on him. I don't really care what he is. But today we're going to leave him in a 4. We're going to talk about it. Okay, so pull kick, pull wrap, regular GT counter, blocking back on there. Now, some issues we've thought about is, you know, if he plays that down block. What we've seen in our practices, and we'll see a little bit of film today, is that even if he runs with that down block and stays in, or that pull, and tries to stay in his back pocket or in his hip, we're just basically trading paint, center, guard, tackle, and we're still be able to get him. And we just got to touch him, right? Keep him out of the play so our running backs can fit. So we're going to troubleshoot that a little bit. I know that some people's answer will be to just widen him out, like, hey, what are you going to do now? Okay, then we're just going to read the guy. If he wants to come running, we'll just pull it, or we'll throw a bubble. We'll have an answer in an RPO world for him. And our RO, run option, right? We can hand it off, or the quarterback can keep it. We just call it a read. So we'll have answers there as well. So I'm pretty interested to see how you guys are doing it there. But in the name of keeping this short, okay, I want to jump over to our film. So let me get film pulled up real quick. Once again, be as judgmental as you wish. Not going to hurt my feelings any. All right. Here we go. Let me switch back to that screen. Hey, look at that. Now we got film. I even have a huddle remote. But it's not a huddle remote. And now I think my son took off with it. Oh, here it is. So if you don't have one of these bad boys yet, this is by Red Star Tech. Hey, works fabulously. Okay, you can even like move the mouse and draw. Like everything I'm doing there is with this little pointer. So let's see if I can get it out of the way. All right. So we've got a little empty going on here. Okay, I'll just let you see it. So we're going to motion out and try to clean the box up a little bit for ourselves. What it does do is take that blitzer way backside, right? Excuse me. This is going to be a front side play. So what we're really going to look at here is I'm not going to use the huddle remote apparently. Okay, we're going to watch our center Look, I get this cat's not giving us a lot of effort. He's brand new to football. You can tell, okay, this is like day 2 or 3 of install, and he'd never played it down in his life. The kid's out there giving us a look, and I love it, okay? But as we get a block back here, pull the kick, pull the wrap, the center's going to be able to scrape and fit this gap exactly perfect. And look, all he's got to have, he actually ends up picking up the nose. The nose slants across his face, so he picks him up, which is great. All right, it's okay, I think. That's a guard. The nose slants over to the guard. So the center's able to avoid, pick up this defensive end. Once again, not a high effort play out here. We're getting a look from a guy that's never touched a football, so that's great. But all we need is that window, right? In my thinking. We just got to have this little crease, and it doesn't take a huge block anywhere out here. This is a down block by a guard that clears it, and then we get this choke block by the center. And even though we're in empty, it gives our quarterback a lane, right? So that's why, I even wonder, like, he's even a little bit wide. He might actually be out there in like a 5. See if we can pick up the tempo a little bit here. I believe we do. We do. A little bit better effort here, a little bit better tempo. Okay, same thing. So we're running GT. We're going to run it to our tight end wing here. We'd like to have a little better down block. Okay. Once again, all these cats are getting installs. Their first time seeing it. I'd like to have a little bit better down block by my wing here. But he gets there. Now look at this block. See, this is that choke I'm talking about. This is even a pretty good look. I mean, not D1 talent look, but by God, this is 2A football. Small 2A in Oklahoma now. Okay, we're able to avoid, pick him up. And there's the lane. Right, that's all I need is that much. So this is when we're choking it. Apparently they're going to get a lot of wing formation here out of us, so enjoy that. Same thing here. All right, so coloration's wild. This tight end, obviously I did not teach him well enough, okay? Not a super new kid, but new to that position. We're moving some kids around this season, but he's also not been an offensive lineman, and we had 0 indie time, so he should be a gap hinge here, working inside that outside backer. He ends up letting him go and tries to essentially try to work a base block on a defensive end who we're going to choke block on. But it's kind of the same thing here, right? If we just follow our blockers, if we pick up this cat, this is just a pretty ugly play, guys. I'm okay putting an ugly play out there. It's happened to me before. It's happened to you, I'm sure. Okay? So we get a pull kick. Whoops. Pull wrap. Get a hinge block out of this guy. Little help here. Okay, I think this opens up quite nicely. But still, that defensive end is not an issue here. And I'm not sure he would be if he was very much more athletic. We're trading paint with the center back on that guard tackle. And there he is. It just kind of delivers him, gives him his little tunnel to run. Not a very pretty play by us. But the seam is there if our gap hinge hits. Okay, this day we ran a new center. So we just moved some people around. Okay, we wanted to see what other people could do in other places. So here we're going to go GT to the left, right? So we should see him cleaning up all the way back to here. We actually GT here with the extra H-back as well. So they actually end up running cowboy here. So we end up just running GH counter. And so then, we don't need the choke block. He does it anyway because we have a gap hinge there. But we end up choking it back anyway, probably because that was the play call. So some confusion on install day, and that's okay. Right, so he needs to be coming to get this cat. And I think he gets there. And once again, even with a blown play, there's I mean, I could fit my grandma's old school Lincoln through that hole. You know what I mean? All right, so last look here at wing. I think is the last look. So this time we do end up with like a 4 front plus whatever that's supposed to be rolled down, probably an outside backer. Maybe the corner just coming to set the edge. I hope he does. I hope he does try to come set the edge. Okay. Got our wing, so tight end wing formation here. Corners rolled down. We end up with a 4 front. So we end up taking a 3 tech this time. Or maybe that's supposed to be a shade. I don't really know what he's doing there. Looks like a 2-eye maybe. Obviously, we get a run read, and he throws it. Still learning our RPO reads here. So I guess this is where that 4 front could be a question, right? It's like I'm leaving an unblocked defensive end. We want to answer it with a run option, run pass option. So, we got to teach that. But I think we still have this play. By the way, this cat right here also never played football. This team is going to be really fun to coach this year because we have to coach. Got a lot of new kids, a lot of young kids. You talk about freshman, sophomore, very, very heavy in that class. And some of them, once again, have never touched a football in their life. So it's going to be this is one of those years like you really get to coach and have a blast. So this play done really not even a good option for it. Oh, I skipped too much that time. All right, last play here, and then we'll cut it. We'll shut her down. I don't even know how long we're at. 20 minutes or something, probably. Little trip snub here. We run some motion out of it too. But still yet, even doing that, I feel like even if we wanted to run it, this choke block has created that lane for us. So I think the choke is here to stay. I'm anxious to see how you guys do it. So if you don't mind, comments down there, hit me up. Let me know what you're doing. How are you blocking GT counter? How are you handling a 4 front, right? Or a 3-4 with a backer rolled down and blitzing from that side. Are you pre-snapping it to run an RPO? Because, I mean, that's what we do here, right? We get a little bit overloaded there. We've got numbers on the outside, so we're just going to throw it outside. Okay, so even if you take away what we want to do in here, we'll just get rid of the ball. So my questions to you guys are, how are you handling a 4 front? Do you go ahead and just double inside? Do you just not run GT counter to a 4 front? Do you got to, work it with an H-back? That's other options we have, right? We can use an H-back. We have one of those. Spring ball, you're kind of just calling plays at random to get certain concepts installed, certain terminology, certain understanding. So, it's a little less game planning. The DC is just running random stuff. And I'm trying not to even worry about it because I don't want to game plan my DC in spring ball. Okay, we just want to have some fun. So some of those clips are a little ugly. Not knowing when we're going to get a 3 front or a 4 front. We didn't really teach how we're going to handle that. But there, you've seen it. You've seen what we're doing. Once again, my question to you, how are you guys GTing a 4 front? And, what rules do you have to change? And then, how you handling those hot edges off of 3-4 when you get those backers rolled down, especially if they're both people want to run that 5-2 and you don't know where they're coming from. Anyway, it's been fun. Very first coffee with Coach Chambo. I'm going to try to do this each morning now, especially as we work through the summertime, because talking ball is fun. If you're on the Twitter and it's just not working, jump over to YouTube. I would love to, I think I'm on at Chamberlain Football Consulting is my YouTube one. So jump over there. You get the same video. You can watch it live and maybe a little bit better quality. I think it's still doing crazy stuff. It's my first time working the multiple output on OBS, so that's probably the issue. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Make somebody wrong.